Brake repair near me. And so when someone types brake repair near me into a search bar, they are usually not doing it casually. They are doing it because something does not feel right. Maybe the brakes are squeaking. Maybe the steering wheel shakes when slowing down. Maybe the pedal feels softer than it used to. Maybe there's a grinding sound that instantly creates anxiety, or maybe the vehicle, still stops, but something isn't, and the driver knows it's not stopping the way it should. And that moment matters because brake problems do not just create inconvenience, they create uncertainty. And when a driver feels uncertain about their vehicle, what they're really looking for is not just a repair, they are looking for clarity. They are looking for confidence. They are looking for a shop that will tell them the truth, explain what is happening, and help them make the right decision without pressure. That is what this search should really be about. The words brake repair near me may sound simple, but the decision behind them is important. When your braking system is one of your most critical safety systems on your vehicle, it affects how your vehicle responds in traffic, how well it handles emergency situations, how secure you feel behind the wheel, and how safe your passengers are every time you drive, not to mention all of the people around you. It's not just about you and your passengers, it's about all of the pedestrians and the other people on the road and the community at large. A lot of people think brake service is simple. They assume it means replacing brake pads and moving on. And sometimes that's straightforward. Many times it's not. A proper brake inspection is about understanding the entire system. That includes the condition of your brake pads, rotors, calipers, brake fluid, hydraulic components, brake lines, and on modern vehicles, electronic systems like anti-lock brake systems, ABS. A problem in one part of the system can show up as a symptom somewhere else. That is why real brake inspection should never begin with a sales pitch. It should begin with a careful evaluation. And this is where trust becomes everything. If the shop jumps too quickly to conclusions, the customer loses. If a shop assumes the noise must be pads without looking deeper, the customer loses. If a shop talks in vague terms that leave the customer confused, the customer loses. If a shop treats every brake concern like a one-size-fits-all repair, the customer loses. The best interest approach is different. It says, let's inspect the vehicle carefully, identify the actual issues, explain what we found, prioritize safety, and help the customer understand the next step. So it's funny to me when a customer calls and says, do you do brakes? Yes, we do brakes. Well, I have a whatever kind of vehicle, a pickup truck, a car, light truck, SUV, whatever. They have whatever kind of vehicle they have, old, new, whatever. And they say, well, how much is it? Okay, well, that's a good question. How much is it? But that's assuming that it's one size fits all and that your problem is exactly the same as everybody else's problem. And, and I get it. You're concerned about your money. I get it. You're concerned about, being taken advantage of by an automotive repair store. But what's the real situation? The real situation in my mind is that you're going to call, you're going to get a price. You're going to call 3 people, 5 shops, however many shops. You're going to call them. And then you're going to base it on just price? Base it on how friendly or how whatever the person answering the phone is, how good of a sales pitch they give you for coming in along with a good price. So it may not be the cheapest price, but it's how well you felt about the phone call. So it might be the second to the cheapest price. That way we can justify that we're not actually cheap and we're not just doing it for money. We actually have other considerations in making that choice. Okay, well, and if you do, that's fantastic. Most people are just going to, you go in to get your car washed. The car wash people know that if they give you a good, better, best option, that you're probably going to pick the better. People don't want to be perceived as cheap, and they also don't want to spend a lot of money, so they're not going to pick the cheapest version or the most expensive version most of the time. So some people see themselves as I only do the best, so they'll only buy the best. Other people say I don't care if people think I'm cheap or not, so I'll only buy the cheapest. Um, Instead of actually looking at what's going on at the car wash and what does your car need and what's valuable and what makes sense and what makes the most sense for the value, the money that you want to spend to get the best bang for your buck. Um, when you walk into an automotive repair shop or you're calling on the phone to an automotive repair shop and you're looking to get your brakes done. Okay, so are all pads or shoes or master cylinders or calipers or wheel cylinders or brake, rotors or brake drums equal? No. So how do you know what quality of product the shop's going to use when they're quoting you this cheap price? I mean, odds are they're quoting you on cheap product. So it's funny to me that we literally make jokes about the NASA rockets being built by the cheapest bidder, and I don't want to get into a rocket when the rocket has been built by the cheapest bidder. Think about it. Do you want to get into your car when you when your brakes and your all of your work has been done by the cheapest bidder, not just your brakes, but check engine light near me, and on and on and on and on. I mean, your water pump, your tires are the cheapest tires. I mean, think about your car. Think about strapping into a rocket, because that's basically what you're doing inside of your car. And you're going down the road at 75 miles an hour, 80, 90, because I know, people don't speed, right? You want to rely on the brakes to stop you. You want to rely on the shocks and the stress to keep the tires in contact with the ground so that your brakes can actually work. You want to rely on, when you're pulling out into traffic, that your vehicle actually pulls out. You want to rely on your vehicle without even thinking about it. But then when it comes to taking care of your vehicle, you actually want to strap the rocket to you that's been built by the lowest bidder. Okay. To me, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's your money. But then you have to also understand a good technician nowadays. I've got shops that are paying their technicians $80 an hour, $77 an hour. Do you want your brakes being taken care of by a inexpensive person because think about it, if how is the shop going to make money if the price is too cheap? And if the shop's not going to make money, why should it be in business? Because it's a business. It's not a charity. It's like Google is a business, it's not charity. I mean, they make money. It's a business. People seem to think that it's a community service or something, but nothing could be further from the truth. Google is definitely not a community service. It makes money. It's supposed to. It's a business. But think about that for just a second. You really want to go into a shop and you want to be with, again, a decent front counter person, because they obviously know that they have to have at least a decent front counter person or you wouldn't come in to begin with. But then that decent front counter person is backed up by inexpensive product and inexpensive personnel. And I got news for you. Inexpensive personnel doesn't stick around long and is trying to grow and learn and evolve. But if we're not going to pay them to grow and learn and evolve, then they'll find somebody that will. So that means we're just constantly getting the bottom of the barrel people, and you want to trust your brakes to that. So find a shop, build a great relationship, find one that is truly got the customer's best interest at heart. And it's about the value. It's not about price. It's about using the best product that they can, using the best people that they can, and giving you the best service that they can at the best price that they can to make money. It's not about trying to hurt you or rip you off or take advantage of you. If you can find somebody that's willing to do it, and think about this, oh, I'll just have my neighbor do it. What kind of insurance does your neighbor have? Just saying, what kind of insurance? I mean, when you go out and he did it wrong, she did it wrong, and your brakes don't stop and you end up in an accident, what kind of insurance does your neighbor have? What kind of insurance does the shade tree mechanic have? What kind of liabilities are you leaving yourself open to when you're dealing? Now your insurance better be very good. Think about that. So one way or another, the stuff has to be paid for, and all of the surrounding stuff has to be paid for. So do yourself a favor and understand what inexpensive or cheap really costs in the end of the day. Stay safe, stay strong.